Black High Priestess. It's a very, 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 very whatever. It's a wonderful Friday. It's a spicy Friday. I'll put my Facebook Live free tarot reading up there. In the description box, I'll put the link. I've been getting some business. I've been getting sacred economics. I've been, receiving. People have been donating. People have been, just, coming to me for help and helping out with their donations and offerings and things. So I like to give back in whatever way I can. That's the point in sacred economics. So I was just kind of led to give back by showing you all, how I do my salmon. I made salmon yesterday, I guess I'm just going to show you all that and do a scripture real quick. So I have enchanted my tea here, and it's kind of like an ololodi tea, but I have this mesquite blossom honey here, and I also have orange blossom, and these two have been enchanted at my Oshun altar. So I'm going to add that to my tea here. Add both of them. This one's a little thicker. But I'm just gonna, just add a little bit, enchant this real quick. We're gonna hopefully have some fun today. Ololodi, speak to me. Ololodi, Ololodi, speak to me. Ololodi, Ololodi, Ololodi did come through during my Facebook Live. And I'm going to do a stitchomancy real quick now. I've already had chalice. I also wanted to show you all today. I am kind of in a celebratory mood. I had a bath earlier, a cleansing bath. It was kind of an Oshun Iyami bath. Bit of a soronga, but just really, really, really spicy bath. Chantel Benjamin is, the sister who I purchased the Hocus Pocus, her Hocus Pocus bath salt blend, and that's what I used, and it was great. I had an Oriental spice soap that I used with it. I had some double spice chai, and now I got some ginger spice here. This is ginger beer, which is non-alcoholic, and I got the premium blend. Last time I had the extra ginger. This one's just, I wanted to try the premium one, which I'm liking the flavor. But I also have here in my chalice, this is the wine that I like. Mogen David, or Mogen David, however you pronounce it. If y'all can kind of, it's the glare, sorry about it. Sorry about the glare and everything, but. And there's pomegranate, Concord, blackberry, and there's another flavor, but I have this here, so that's what I have in here. And what I do is I mix the wine with some real ice cold ginger beer, and it's it's like a fizzy sangria. That's kind of how I roll. So especially around the Sabbath, so it is Saturday's coming up, so cheers. Salud, salud, prost. I think that's all I know. And we will just say ashe. All right, and alhamdulillah. So I did get a message here, with the tarot, while I'm still in free live tarot mode. Something about someone needs to get a mobile home. I don't know if that will resonate with someone, but someone needs to not like get their show on the road, but okay, I'm getting show because I'm supposed to show you all. They want me to show you all that someone needs to get a mobile home. See these tracks here, and this is the home. Someone needs to get a home that can be on the road, can move. So whoever has been thinking about this or is trying to figure out their situation right now, your ancestors are encouraging you, the Most High is encouraging you to get a mobile home. I was trying to get a price range. I'm not getting a specific price range, but I'm getting 15,000 or 500, between 500 or 1,500. Between 500 and 1,500. Which is 750, I think. I don't know. No. I don't know. But I'm not in math mode right now, but you know, having said that, let's do a stitchomancy real quick, see what the scripture is, and then I'm gonna get to cooking. Let's see. All right. Outside messages you have for me in the audience this Friday. Okay. 1 Samuel 16, verse 1 through 3. Eventually Jehovah said to Samuel, "For how long will you be mourning for Saul, while I, on the other hand, have rejected him from ruling as king over Israel? Fill your horn with oil and go. I shall send you to Jesse the Bethlehemite, because I have provided among his sons a king for myself." But Samuel said, "How can I go? Once Saul has heard of it, he will certainly kill me." And Jehovah went on to say, "A young cow of the herd you should take with you, and you must say, 'To sacrifice to Jehovah is why I have come.' And you must call Jesse to the sacrifice. And I, for my part, shall make known that to you what you should do. And you must anoint for me the one whom I designate to you." All right. Let me let that soak in. That is 1 Samuel 16, verses 1 through 3. A lot of times we're called to do things from the Most High, and we don't always have a clear direction. We just have to get on that path and have trust that we have everything we need, that we're equipped with all those tools. So that's kind of pertaining to this too. This will be Sheely Bow in the voodoo deck, and this would be Nanan Buklo, which would represent the twins. But it essentially being on a path, or being called to be on a path, and you know, having access to the resources, you know, that you're gonna need on your way, and having faith and trust that you will encounter whatever resources that you need in order to fulfill this destiny, or really more so to fulfill a calling. I'm getting more a calling, and that's kind of what it's talking about. Those of you who are seeking out truth, and you're being shown truth, you're being shown the truth about the people around you. These people are not good. Some of them have demons. Some of them are evil. You know, you're being shown truth. And it may be uncomfortable. It may hurt because some of the people who you love are evil. You know, or are, you know, maybe not in your best interest. They could be betraying you. So some of the people who you admire or who you follow and are a fan of, you may be finding out that they're false, or they are not what you thought they were or who you thought they were. Maybe they are not, maybe they are leading you astray, and you trusted them to lead you to something that was good and healthy and holy. So it's important to keep asking for guidance with that, because some people may be hearing a voice and hear a calling and may not know how to trust it, but sometimes that comes with trusting yourself and seeking out answers. I think in part 2 it says, Samuel said, "How can I go? Once Saul has heard of it, he will certainly kill me." So he questioned the Most High. He questioned that voice. He stated his fear of answering the call. So it's nothing wrong. Bravery is not the absence of fear, but proceeding in spite of it. That's what bravery is. Bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to proceed in spite of it. So I'm gonna get in the kitchen pretty soon, but we'll ride with that. And again, talking about sacrifice and everything, talking about anointed oil. I definitely feel anointed because again, the hocus pocus bath salts, the water was very oily, and it felt really good on my skin, and it was like being anointed. So and I also want to say that the reason, let's go in the kitchen now, everyone. I'm gonna get started, so I'm gonna eat soon. We got a few things to do. I got all my spices and everything here ready. So I'm just gonna, the reason that I am gonna be doing salmon again. I was kind of doing pasta, with marinara, chili with chips, things like that. I don't eat meat much anyway, but the reason I've been doing salmon is because I did a bibliomancy and asked, about things I was shown in the bibliomancy that my particular diet, I should cut out. Actually, I should cut out beef, lamb. I don't eat pork already, but it was beef, lamb, and buffalo are things that I should cut out, and actually I was told that the only meat as of now that I should eat is salmon, not any fish, specifically salmon. So I guess having said that, I did some preparations. I was on YouTube. This salmon I have, I just wanted the cheapest one that was there. And so I have an Alaskan salmon. Let's see here. This is Canadian, not Alaskan. This is Canadian. This is a piece of Canadian salmon. So what I'm gonna do, Lucky, you cool, baby? You just gonna chill there? And then I do have this prepared already. Some chopped onions, tomatoes, and the spinach at the bottom. And I'm actually, what I'm gonna do with that is, maybe I can sit y'all right here for a second. I don't know if I can or not. You guys got the. What I'm gonna do with that is, I already have some distilled water, just a little bit in here. I'm gonna just throw all of that in, and start sauteing it. Just kind of putting it maybe medium right now. Like I said, I have some water in there, but I am gonna add some olive oil too. And once it reduces and steams a little bit, I will add some seasoning to it. So I'm gonna put the lid on so the moisture can get in and it can steam it up. And I'm gonna start the salmon. Watch out, baby. Before they get to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw some oil in the pot and put it on really low heat for now. Stop, y'all. Down, down, down. No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to put that on low. Just low because again I can't use the oven as of now. I just throw it. Now just let that do its thing. And then I'm going to take this oil here. It's a nice piece of salmon. I'm gonna set it in here for now, oil it up, and black pepper. This is a peppercorn medley, which I love, and I'm gonna add some straight up black pepper to it too, but I like a lot of pepper, obviously. And salt, pink Himalayan sea salt, nothing major. And I'm going to flip it and do the same salt. Second. Flip it, salt it, pepper, all right, and I'm going to flip it again because I want this side to cook first. Top is already heated up a little bit. I got plenty of olive oil in there. And see, it's still got the seasoning on top too. So that worked out well. And I'm going to add into the salmon little garlic. Some garlic in the oil there in the salmon. And I'm going to put some lemon, a few slices of lemon. So the oil ends up being a nice sauce once it reduces. I'm gonna put some wheels. I'm gonna put like 3 lemon wheels, just like in the oil. Two in the oil, and I'll put 1 more on top. You know, just 2 on top, you know, just until. All right. And so when I flip it, you know, I'll put the other 2 on top, just so the lemon flavor gets in it really nice, and I don't have to add any more to it. So we got that done, and then eventually I will add some red wine vinegar. Let me have a sip. How's everyone doing today? I'm gonna put some capers. It's low, so it's good, but again, the oils, I'm gonna overdo it. And I'm gonna throw some capers in the sauce. I'm gonna actually turn off the heat for now. Throw some capers in here. There we go. All right. And a little vinegar. just see how it's doing so far. I'm gonna flip it and see. How is it? Okay. Oh, it's doing good. It's doing good. And the sauce is gonna get a nice salmon-y flavor too. I'm gonna flip it again. I'm using pretty decent heat. Like I said, this is just, you know, if your oven's not working, like with me or something like that, I'm just gonna put the 4 lemons around it so I can save room for flipping. The capers is gonna season, it's gonna flavor the oil really nice, and this oil is gonna be basically used to butter the mashed potatoes that I have. And I have like the country something, you know, the ones that are like, they're pre-made, and then all you have to do is just heat them up. Those are the ones I use, so I can just, you know, I only got a certain amount of pot, so then when I do the salmon, I can put the salmon on the bed of the spinach and onion and tomatoes, which smells so good. All right. Yeah, everything's sauteing nicely here. I'm probably going to add a little bit more spinach. I'm going to turn down the heat to the spinach, onion, and tomato sauteing, and it's going together really good. I'm going to add a little more spinach to it since the spinach is reduced. I'm going to add the rest, and that'll work out. Down the heat. I'm gonna cover up the salmon, let it steam a bit. And add the spinach, the stems and everything else left over. Watch out, baby. Oh. I've already rinsed it and everything. Get down. Get down, baby. Down, down, down. Come. I gotta use this now. Go. Down, down, down. Down. You know what honestly. So, I'm just gonna do a rough chop on the spinach. I'm going to make sure the stems are cut up nice. It's going to reduce pretty well, and it's going to be like a nice, you know, hot salad portion with the salmon. So we'll turn that off. And I'm going to throw this in here in the strainer. I'm going to throw this all in the strainer and rinse the rest of it in the strainer here. All right, rinse the rest of it. And throw it all in the pot here. Reduce with the rest, with the onions and everything. A lot of spinach. And then, you know, once it's cooked, you know, you can save it, refrigerate it, and you know, save it for other stuff. And then again, you can always just dump it into a pasta sauce and turn it into a Florentine if you want to use the rest of it at another time. All right. And what else? So now that I've done that, I'm gonna check on the salmon. I turned the heat off on the salmon because I didn't want to overdo it and let it steam a little bit. While I did that, wipe this down a bit with the sweep. Wipe everything on the floor. That's all the cutting I have to do. And just, you know, clean as you go, always clean as you go. But right now, throw the top. I'm gonna mix the spinach in. Might be two textures, but that's okay. It adds you know, adds depth and body. And you have two different textures and temperatures. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as it's not all too burnt. So I'm gonna mix the stems and everything up in with that, and then I'm gonna, now that that's done, I'm gonna throw some garlic in there too. Actually, what I'm gonna do, since the oil and salmon at this time, I'm gonna turn the heat back on low. Since the oil, I already put garlic in it, I'm just gonna put garlic salt to salt the spinach, because I want it to have a garlic flavor too. You can't, personally, I liked it to have a garlic flavor with spinach, especially if it's just fresh and it's not too much seasoning. It's nice to have a nice garlicky addition to it. And since I don't have fresh garlic, and I don't want to overdo it with that, just garlic salt, so it does have just that flavor. Take the lid off with the salmon, and it's pretty much done now because it's steamed. And when I just turned it back on, I'm gonna flip it. I can show you guys. It's kind of hard to, but it's looking good. Flip it. I let it steam just a little bit in that way, but it's pretty much done. You don't want to overdo the salmon, because again, that steam will cook it adequately too. And now we're just letting the spinach do its thing, and we're gonna finish seasoning it. We're gonna add some cayenne. We're good on the garlic salt. We could add a tad bit. No, we don't need any more olive oil. It's looking good. So we'll put everything up. Olive oil, red wine vinegar. Red wine vinegar does help suck up some, you know, vinegar in general. Capers, you know, they're kind of pickled in a way. They got some vinegar in them, you know, depending on how you get them. But typically they've got that acidic base to them, so to speak. So that helps. It soaks up some of the moisture. So I'm gonna put a dash in the spinach as well, and then we're done with the vinegar. And then, you know, I'm just one of those people where I enjoy vinegar. Could be a female pH balance thing, like some people say. You know, it is what it is. But I do want a little bit more tomatoes, so I am gonna chop up one more tomato real quick. And this is some black pepper. So I can put some black pepper in the spinach now, season it with that. And, you know, this is like a black pepper salmon. But this is, I just got a teensy bit of black pepper left, so I'm going to let this soak in with the salmon. And I'm gonna go ahead and flip it back and let it sit on top of the lemons, and I'm gonna keep it covered. Heat off. Okay. And I'm just gonna cut up another tomato. I'm gonna throw it in with the spinach to even everything out. It's got plenty of onion in there. You know, and you can, you know, just always do that however you feel. But also, again, because of the acidity, I'm gonna throw some thick tomatoes with the seed part in here in the sauce too, just to let some of the acidity soak up. Soak in with the capers for that. And throw some tomato in to even out the portions with the spinach. Let that do its thing for a bit. And then we'll get the potatoes out. You know, and then just transfer, you know, just transfer things as you need to. I'm just gonna throw the tomatoes in here the easy way, you know, just kind of put the pot like that with your cutting board, or, you know, just make it work smarter, not harder. Add a few more tomatoes in there. But it's looking good. It's looking good. And so it's time to season it. Mix everything in well. A little salt for good measure. Cayenne. A lot of cayenne. Because I like it like that. A lot of cayenne. And it keeps the salmon, you know, I'd rather season up the sides and let this and you know, help that add salt to the dish than to overdo the salmon, because it's fish, you know, it's a sensitive protein. Okay, yeah, baby. Put these capers up. And that's good. That's pretty much good for the seasoning. You don't want to overdo it. So it's got salt, it's got garlic salt, black pepper, and the onion and everything will go well. All right. So now what I will do is I'll make a full thing. Why not? So what I'm gonna do is in this bowl here, really quickly, I'm gonna transfer the spinach. It's looking good too. I'm gonna transfer the spinach, onions, and tomatoes seasoned up in here in this bowl. I know it looks it's like a little singed on the outside because of the fire, but it's washed, it's clean, it's clean on the inside. But I'm gonna transfer that, and I'm just gonna get the rest of this out here. I'm gonna give this pot a quick rinse, since we got plenty of salt and flavor and everything. And I'm just gonna put the potatoes on with a quick rinse. Just wipe down. It's nice for everything to still have its own flavor, because it'll mix up once it's on the plate. So I'm not gonna do anything to the potatoes, because I want something to be, you know, somewhat bland to soak up the salt. It's very, you know, in African culture, it's traditional to have like a wheat or a grain, something like nshima, or, you know, some spongy type of bread, or some type of bread, some type of starch, rice, things like that to soak up the protein, which is, you know, usually a meat. and to soak up the vegetables. So that's, you know, traditional balanced meal. You could have a protein. You could do beans. Spinach is good for me particularly, especially since I don't eat meat a lot. I can get my iron from spinach. And, you know, tomatoes. They just do something for me. I don't know. It could be a color thing. But tomato is that thing where it goes well with salty food, but it's technically like a fruit because of the seeds and everything. So you know, me and tomatoes got a good relationship. You know, again, it's I'm not going to season the potatoes at all. There'll be that bland thing that will soak up everything else. Get those. Here already. Okay, I'm just gonna, and these are, you know, only gonna take a second to heat up. Alright. How's everyone? Oh. It's a nice Friday, so I'm gonna put the lid on it. Whew. And I'm just gonna prepare my plate while those are heating up. Like I said, it's just gonna take a second. This is what we have. This is what the salmon's looking like. Again, I don't want to overdo it. It's nice and hot, so I'm just gonna take a steak, half of it. But I'm just gonna prepare the plate. And like I said, I like the lemon. Put you guys right there for a second while I get this prepared. I just want to make it look nice for you guys. And then I'm going to just throw some of this with some juices again, so the potatoes can get seasoned, so the salmon can still have something to heat up. I'm going to do a double dose of these. Get some of the fresh tomatoes. A couple of these, you know, fresh tomatoes here. Meaning the ones that haven't sauteed so much. Put the salmon on top because the steam from the heat there is going to continue to heat the salmon. All right. And we got the potatoes just about ready. Just takes a second. Really just heating them up. And you can kind of circle the potatoes around. You know, be an artist however you want. Right. So, and I'm just actually gonna do like that. And what I'm gonna do with my fork here is, now that I got the potatoes, I'm going to put some of the capers all around. I'm just gonna dot the capers around. The capers from the sauce here. And just kind of gonna dot the potatoes with all these capers. I'm just being artsy, you know. Just do that, especially if you're this is a good way to, if you're cooking for ancestors and offering, it's a good thing to do. So again, this good gravy here still has all the garlic and lemon, all these delicious flavors, the garlic flavor, the lemon flavor, the capers, the a little bit of tomatoes, the red wine vinegar especially. I'm just gonna mix that up and just get one good dose of it and drizzle it over the salmon there. Alrighty. And we put everything aside. What's our final product? Move, baby. Move, baby, move. You see? No. You see I'm doing an upload. Now stop. You're being rude. Hey, don't talk back. Okay, so look, what do you guys think? Let me know. So I got the salmon there. I put both steaks. I wanted it to look nice for everyone. I wanted it to look, let me come at this angle and, there we go. And see, I put the capers all around. Peace, Ebony. I got the capers around the potatoes. I put everything on top. So like I said, everything will just, you can just go for it. I put the potatoes around, the lemons on top. I just do whatever, but that's going to be my lunch, my dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and eat that. And then remember, keep everything as clean as you guys can. And remember the scripture. If you're called to do something, if you're being called to go on a new path or to do something uncomfortable, and you don't know how, just have faith in the calling. And always ask the Most High, ask your ancestors if question them and look for those signs and receive those signs when you do. All right, everyone. It's just a really, really nice Friday. And this is going to be really, really good. So, all right. Well, I don't want to get off, but I have to, take care of all this and grub a little bit. So I hope this helps people, cook with love. I hope this helps people on a budget with some ingredients and, if you don't have as much, but you can still cook really nice for yourself and you can still eat really healthy. You don't have to eat so much. Like again, I actually still had some, a part of a salmon steak and all the potatoes and everything left over from yesterday. So again, I'm not actually gonna eat that. That was just for you guys. I'm gonna start with the leftovers. I'm gonna eat that. It's probably this could even last me till, who knows when. But minimize, don't be a glutton, find out what your seventh sin is and work on it. And just enjoy the energy of this Friday and try and receive the blessings that are in the air right now. All right? Peace and love, everyone. Thanks for watching.